G'day YouTube people. I suspected there was something up around the corner here when I saw that semi-trailer going past in the other direction, because that's a pretty rare thing around here. Now the roadworks, yes, they actually did a very good job, and especially on this crossing here, which used to be flippin' horrible. The road was quite sunken, where there was 2 lanes of wheel traffic. You can see how kind of mottled and torn up it was. So yeah, I'm really glad they came along and fixed this, because it was not very pleasant. But I just wanted to talk about how we put a lot of extra wear and tear and expense on our roads these days by driving everywhere in big 4-wheel drives instead of using something like a bike or a scooter for some trips. Now this footpath I'm on at the moment, this finishes at a school and an oval just around the corner there, those buildings you can see in the distance. And I want you to think about if there's, say, 300 kids at this school, and they all get driven to school by their parents. So that's 4 vehicle movements a day per child up and down this road. Now 40 years ago, that would have been done in kind of lightweight cars like, Corollas and, I don't know, Austin Allegros and things like that. They weighed a bit over a ton as compared to, well, what, 2.5 tons these days for a mid-range 4-wheel drive. And that's just a hell of a lot of extra wear and tear on the roads. Not only have you got a lot more vehicle movements because you've got kids being driven to school, whereas, back in my day, everybody walked or rode or caught the bus, but you've also got heavier vehicles like that one there on the roads. And so, of course, drivers complain that they're having to pay higher and higher registration fees. Well, they're not exactly registration fees in New South Wales, they're actually a weight tax. And the weight tax is supposed to compensate for the extra damage that your heavy vehicle does to the road. Light vehicles do very little, bicycles do almost none at all. Big trucks like that one we just went past do a hell of a lot of damage. So, you pay more. And of course, the Facebook groups I'm a member of, residents are constantly complaining about the state of the roads. They're potholed, they're torn up, they're lumpy and all the rest of it. But they never sit there and consider that maybe they're the cause of the poor condition of the roads. I mean, look, certainly the weather has a certain amount to do with, roads falling to bits. Heavy rains will wash things away, cause potholes. Just the sun and wind over time will cause tarmac to fall to bits. But vehicle traffic certainly, well, I reckon, does a heck of a lot more damage than those other things. So what's the solution to it? Well, one thing we always advocate here is not going car-free, but just migrating some of your trips away from the car to some alternative form of transport. And being a bicycle channel, jumping on a bike. Imagine how much longer this road would last, and the reduction in the cost to the taxpayer or the ratepayer. If, let's say, 60 or 70% of the kids who are currently getting driven to school change to getting to school by some other means, bike, scooter, skateboard, you name it, you'd expect the road to probably last twice as long, and therefore need, a much reduced burden on the ratepayer for coming back every so often and having to tear the whole thing up and rebuild it. Because look at the amount of vehicles and the amount of people that are on this job. You've got all the traffic controllers, you've got the people driving the machinery like the rollers and the asphalt layers and the thing that digs up the asphalt. You've got semi-trailers going back and forth, taking the old road away and bringing in fresh asphalt. You've got, sprinkler trucks. You've got all the utes that the workers have turned up in. You've also got a truck full of road signs and all the rest of it for the traffic controllers. This, although it's a fairly small piece of work, would have been flippin' expensive because of everything that's involved in just doing this. So anyway, I just thought it was an interesting little example of how the change in the way we drive and what we drive is probably increasing the cost of maintaining and building roads. And everybody wants to complain about it. They want to complain about the tax burden. But, there is a simple way around it. It's just, well, for some trips, like to school or to work or to the shops or whatever, get out of your car, get on your bike, and take the burden off your wallet.